To this day. To this day.
Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Here we go. Welcome. I am Bushido's spirit. Here I have Keek.
What's up?
We are doing Lovecraft. I'm transforming. I'm like Ruby this episode. Lovecraft Country Season 1, Episode 5, Strange Case. And I'm on HBO Max, and they do a pretty good job of doing a synopsis of the episode. So I'm going to go ahead and read what they have here, because it's a great synopsis here. After making a devil's bargain with William, Ruby steps into the charmed shoes of a white woman, but her transformation only fortifies her resentment of the racial divide. A betrayal by Montrose unleashes Atticus' pent-up rage, leaving Letty deeply disturbed and sending Montrose into the comforting arms of his secret lover. That is a great ass synopsis. Who wrote that shit, man? That shit is fantastic.
I don't know. They deserve a raise. I had to switch over to HBO Max too, actually, because I just had like regular HBO, but you get way more channels and stuff with HBO Max. Way more content.
Yeah, and they got the streaming service, man.
Yeah.
That shit is fire, man. But yeah, that's pretty much that's a summary of the episode. So before we get into the details, how did you feel about this episode overall?
Low key was the best one so far, because I feel like they revealed a lot instead of just like dragging it on to be a mystery. Finally, found out who William really was, even though I peeped that a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, you did say they weren't never in the room together. Yeah, so that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. How did you feel about the music this time around?
I'm getting used to it. It doesn't seem as out of place as it was like the first few episodes, but at the same time, I just feel like they would use it less.
Yeah, with a lot of songs, at times it did seem forced, but I think this episode they did a good job of matching the songs with what was going on in the scene, so it didn't really affect much. I kind of enjoyed it this episode. It made sense. Playing that Cardi B and then that fucking Frank Ocean while Montrose smashed the homie.
Bro, how much spit is in his mouth? Like he didn't even hawk loogie or anything, and it was like a good handful of spit. Like,
oh no!
That was just too much.
Was that his lube? I didn't see that part.
That's how they do it.
Just go in. Oh shit! That shit was crazy, man. Anyway, look, this episode was pretty good. I'm not with you. I don't think it was the greatest episode of all time or the best episode of the show. I think episode 1 still is the best episode, but this one was pretty good. This one was pretty good. It was better than episode 2. And I think every episode is better than episode 2. I think episode 2 was just, the pacing was like just a little bit too fast. A lot of shit was going on, so much confusion. It did seem a little bit rushed, but I think after that, all the other episodes been solid. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying this show. Got a lot of reviews. So based off of the reviews alone, I guess you could say that this is a top episode. But yeah, let's jump right into it. And if you are a fan of this, be sure to like, comment, and sub to the channel. Let's jump right into the details here. All right, so let's start off with so William turns Ruby into a white woman in exchange for a favor. How'd you feel about that? Just the whole white woman aspect of Ruby, her
white counterpart, her white doppelganger,
Hillary Davenport.
Yeah.
And her escapades at Marcia Fields. How do you feel about that?
I thought it was interesting, especially considering the climate of the era that, the show was in.
Oh yeah. A lot of casual racism. A lot
Well, yeah, that's how it really was back then. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't give a fuck. They would just be racist right in front of your face.
At some moments of the show, she kind of was like a little bit over the top. Like when she first turned into a white woman, she was walking down Chicago, and like she bumped into this black kid with popcorn, and then the cops rolled up immediately.
The cops was fucking.
It's like, what did you do to her?
His ass.
What did you do to her? Did you rape her? Did you molest her? Like, god damn.
I was like, what? How did he have time to do all that within the span of 2 seconds? Like,
I feel like that could have been
you literally just saw what happened.
Been a little bit subtle with that scene, man.
Right.
But everything else was fine. Like when she was talking to the other girls in the back room, and they were talking about how going to the south side of Chicago is like a safari.
Right.
Like, and just the whole experience, like as Hilary Davenport, given the amount of qualification that she has, because before she couldn't even get into the door, she couldn't even get them to call her back or to talk about the position. But but she's always been qualified for the position. But as Hilary Davenport, with her qualifications, the boss made her instantly like the assistant manager. And that just goes to show you how much work she did.
Works in her favor.
Finally. Oh, yeah.
She gets to reap the benefits of being white.
Exactly. And she was, I guess she assumed that the other black girl that they hired
was just as qualified.
Was just as qualified as her, but she was not.
She was pissed.
Yeah, she was. She seemed kind of jealous or irritated by the whole thing. But later on, we discovered that the only reason she was hired is because Mr. Hughes, the boss, was trying to get into them draws, man. He was trying to get them
that
cheeks.
Sweet banana. He wanted him a little bit of chocolate.
He wanted some chocolate, man. That's the only reason she was hired, man. I don't blame her, man. She was cute, man. But
but he didn't have to like assault her and shit.
Yeah, he didn't have to assault her in the back alley.
Back alley. It's like you in a back alley in a black neighborhood, and you think you just gonna
assault a black. I mean, that just shows you how much power that they had at the time, man. He probably would have got away with that shit.
Yeah.
But Ruby sees this and decides to dig in his ass with her heel.
Like literally.
She
got in his ass.
Got in his ass with her heel. And she turned into herself. Like she was at first like Hilary Davenport, and she kind of like was being over the top, sexual, super sexual, trying to what's the word I'm looking for?
Seduce. I just
seduce. Yes, thank you. She seduced him and got him to take his pants off. And while she was shoving her heel up his ass, she turned back into Ruby,
I'm dead. That was kind of disturbing.
It was pretty disturbing.
It's not like he didn't deserve it, but it was disturbing.
I was like, God damn, just heel all up in his ass.
Right. Raping this nigga. God damn. Is it actually rape if he consented? I mean, he didn't consent to that specific act.
That's still rape, man. You got to consent to every part of it. You can't be like having regular sex and then all of a sudden she pull out a strap on some shit and nah, man. You got to consent to everything. You can't just switch it up midway point, man. Like, nah. I want to shit on you now. Like, what? Wait, hold up. I didn't come in for that.
I'm not Odell. What the fuck?
So that was pretty much that right there. They were just showing you the difference between white and black, the color line, and how easy that white women had it at the time compared to black
even
women.
Still today, not much has changed.
Yeah. And given that it was a Ruby episode, Ruby always be dropping bars, man. Always, man.
Yeah.
Like when she was talking to Christina, she was like, I spent enough time on the other side of the color line to know the only thing you white women are disillusioned with is yourselves. I was like, okay, I see you, Ruby, out there. There was a couple of lines in there that I was like, okay, that's good. I fuck with that. But William only turns Ruby into that in exchange for a favor, and that favor was he wanted. They wanted. William / Christina wanted Ruby to put this stone in the drawer of the sheriff, and we don't know for what reason. guess we'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Also this episode, remember last episode, Montrose killed Yahima. In this episode, the crew wakes up to that. They don't see the body there, but Montrose tells them that Yahima is gone, and so is the papers. And Atticus, in a rage, just beats the shit out of his father because he realizes.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, it was. He was.
I mean,
yeah.
it's about damn time.
Like, I'm
As
old
much as
enough
he
now.
be like, just fucking being an asshole and trying to sabotage their plans.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to get his ass beat.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. You was the last nigga in the room with her. Like, come on.
Right.
Some nigga snuck into the house. Like,
And just kidnapped her.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
So Atticus pretty much, he caught on immediately. And he was like,
Yeah, but Letty didn't. I don't know why.
yeah, she didn't at all. She not ready for this, man. She not ready for how grimy it is out here, man.
Real world shit.
Real world shit. So
You think she would just be used to it by now, since in all episodes she's going through some fucking bullshit. Like, there's ghosts in your house, you go to this random lodge, you get shot. Come on, like, and this is the straw that breaks the camel's back for you.
Exactly.
Montrose killing this woman.
Exactly. I mean, but yeah, most of the time the crazy shit and the murdering was outside of the family. Now it's within the family. Like, the family is partaking in these activities, so it's kind of different that way. But she was definitely afraid of Atticus, and he was beating the shit out of Montrose. So I was like, God damn, he's beating his ass. But that little scene right there kind of advanced their relationship. They have moved into the final stages. It developed more. They are actually a thing now. It legitimized it. So that's always good to see.
She went from being afraid of him to fucking him. So I mean,
yeah. And, this time she didn't bleed. So I mean, she good.
It was the second or third time. We don't know how many times yet, but I'm sure it's been a lot.
Yeah,
because we've only seen it twice, which is enough.
Exactly.
I don't need to see any more Letty tick sex scenes. I'm sorry. We know they be fucking at this point. So, goddamn it.
She had to get a do-over, man. That first time was embarrassing for her. She had to get a do-over, man. She had to, man.
I guess.
But Letty comes through in the clutch because Montrose tries to get rid of the papers, but she took a picture of the papers, so before he got rid of them. So she comes through in the clutch, and for the majority of the episode, you see Atticus down there trying to decipher, trying to figure out what these pages mean. And he kind of discovers it at the end. And I didn't fully understand. It shit said die on it, what he would written down. Then he called this girl from Korea, Gia, which it was confirmed this episode that they were a thing. They were lovers, which we could already tell. He calls her up he calls Korea. And I'm trying to remember what the fuck happened in that conversation. Because he reads the paper, he calls her, and she says like, "I told you," or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
And he like, "How the fuck you know what's going on here? Like, what are you?" He like, "You
exactly.
You know a little bit too much. I didn't tell you all of that shit."
Stranger things.
Like, you
Stranger
a wizard. you a witch. Like, what are you? And on the paper it said die. That's what we seen. Do you have any insight on that? What that meant exactly?
I literally have no fucking clue. Oh my god, this show is it's insanely mysterious, and I'm like, I can't even believe I figured out as much as I did so far, just because they don't tell you anything. They just leave it up to you trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty difficult. A lot of stuff that goes over the head. But we do get a little bit of information about fucking what is his name? Hiram Epstein.
Hiram Epstein.
Yeah, he was the one that helped Christina develop this metamorphosis, this transformation spell. which she used on herself and Ruby this episode. And I guess we could talk a little bit more about your boy Montrose, man. He been he been on the down low, man. After Atticus whooped his ass, he ran straight to Sammy's house. Like, what up, Sammy? Give me them cheeks, man. Tree was right, man. Tree was right.
He was right, but it wasn't his business to tell.
Yeah, it wasn't his business.
Tree a bitch.
And then we kind of see that Sammy's involved in some ballroom type shows, some drag shows. And Montrose is there. He's kind of chilling. He's not saying much. I think that was meant to say that he was kind of embarrassed of the whole thing. That's why he was keeping it quiet.
Or he was like uncomfortable.
Yeah. But later in the episode, this motherfucker just all out there.
Yeah.
Just dancing, partying.
This nigga looked like he dropped some Molly and just was feeling himself all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Man.
He's out.
All the shit, like,
this man is all the way out the closet now, man. Oh, shit.
Coming out. I want the world to know.
No, they should have played that shit.
I know.
No,
because if they did, I would have started laughing my ass.
Nothing like an ass whooping that'll make you start seeing things.
Right, you reaffirm your sexuality.
I was like, damn, man. Are we gonna see Montrose in drag next episode? What's going on with that? I don't know, man.
I don't know. I hope not. I don't think he'd be a pretty lady.
He not that type of gay, man. He the straight man. Well, not the straight man, but you know what I mean. He's the stoic, silent, brooding type.
Yeah.
He not the over the top, flamboyant type. So.
Right.
But yeah, I'm curious to know how everybody else reacts to that. I don't think Tick will care. He just hates his father, regardless of what what he's doing. But yeah, I mean, their relationship seemed to be on the right track until he killed Yahima and tried to sabotage their mission. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. It's a sad thing to see, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about the episode? Anything that I may have missed that you want to talk about?
The part where Ruby first becomes a white woman and she is like embracing it, and she goes to the ice cream shop and she goes and sits in the park. I thought it was a lot heavier than it may have seemed, just because it's like something that she would never be allowed to do freely as a black woman, and that's sad.
Yeah, I mean, she
like just going to get ice cream and shit. Yeah.
And we saw in the first episode when that James Baldwin was playing, there was a black dude with his kid at the ice cream shop, and the people that worked in the shop were like giving ice cream and having fun, talking to the cops and the other customers. And he was this black guy and his kid just on the other side, and they not even paying no attention to them. So,
right.
So it was, I mean, she talked about how free she felt, the freedom of being a white woman. And, Christina's after a different type of freedom, man. Her freedom is magic. The currency of magic is unmitigated freedom, she said this episode. So she's all about that magic and shit. Do whatever she wants, man. And she tries to relate again. Like we always see her trying to relate. She tried to relate to Atticus and now Ruby. And they just like, shut the fuck up, man. You a whole ass white woman out here.
You don't understand. The fuck you gonna tell me?
She tries.
I've been through this shit.
She tries
I lived
this
this.
again. She tries.
Shut your ass up.
It's like,
fucking
shut up,
Christina. What you know about my life? Nothing.
Shit.
White woman.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know what they're going to do with the stone. I didn't really catch that much of the dialogue between the sheriff and his lackeys. He said some shit about Christina. She's trying to get that lodge for herself. So maybe that stone will help her kill off the sheriff.
Yeah. I think she's trying to get all the lodges.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. Maybe she might pose as William in some of these missions. to take that over because she did use that lie to convince Ruby to do the job, and
Yeah.
Ruby was kind of into William, man. This man was
Yeah.
this man had game.
I wonder if they're gonna like still, you know, be
Nah,
together or whatever.
nah.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
Ruby gay, man.
I don't think it's about that. I just think that Christina offers her something that she can't really get anywhere else.
I mean,
Like the type of
that's
freedom.
true. But but it's Christina. I don't think anybody fucks with Christina. Not seeing William turn into Christina. I don't think she fucks with William anymore either. So I mean, it could be cool to see that shit continue, but I doubt it'll continue after this.
Yeah.
I doubt it, man. But yeah, that was pretty much the episode. There was a preview of the next episode. I guess we could talk a little bit about that, and we're gonna dive more into Gia. Her story, the Korean woman that he met overseas. What's her deal? What's their relationship? Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see that, to finally know what he did over there in Korea, because he seems hesitant to talk about it. He won't even tell Letty about the shit. And they are a thing, so it must have been traumatic for him. So I'm happy to see about that. What about you?
Yeah, finally. I mean, I'm happy that they're gonna finally dive into that because they've just been sprinkling little hints here and there about what happened, but not really telling us anything beyond him being kind of traumatized by what happened.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
We'll see.
Oh shit! Excuse me.
Do you fart or something?
Nah,
Goddamn, Bush.
I burped.
A burp is just a fart that comes out of your mouth.
Stop it. Stop it. What else? Any characters? I don't think any other characters. Yeah, I think we pretty much talked about everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's it for this review of the episode. Tune in next week where we talk about the next episode, episode 6. If we missed something, tell us in the comment section below. We will discuss it later on. But yeah, I mean, this show is a hit. It's successful. Like I mentioned before we started recording, our boy Major's out here getting big ass roles, major roles.
Right.
No pun intended. In Ant-Man 3, he's the villain now. So yeah.
Hey, I need to see Journey in more shit as well. She's been acting since she was a baby practically, and this is like one of the first major television roles where she is just like shining, and
I mean,
people are really seeing her.
Black women don't really get major roles like they used to. I mean, they never did actually. Like what I mean, like they used to. They never really did. So I don't know. Like you said, she's been acting for a while, and she hasn't been in anything significant or like been the main character or starred in a movie where she was the headliner. So, I mean, we'll see, because she's doing a great job this show, and hopefully she gets more things. But right now, all the person that's getting big shit is Jonathan Majors, so the guy that plays Atticus. So
everywhere.
We'll see. Because even like with Euphoria, the success of Euphoria, like, we don't see Zendaya out here with major roles. So it's like,
I think Dune might change that though. If it does really well, it'll change for her.
I don't know, but even in that, she's like a side character.
Yeah, but she's pretty selective with the roles that she takes. I think that's just her being smart with her career and wanting to do characters that she really feels speak to her, rather than just going with whatever script gets thrown at her. Because I'm sure that she gets a lot of fucking scripts all the time. She's a huge name, and just her being in the movie alone will pull people, into watching it. So she's just doing everything how she wants to, and I respect her for that.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna take a. You want to bet on this? Who gets a role first? these two black women in these major shows, or fucking Christina from Lovecraft Country? Who is that actress, by the way?
I don't know. I've literally never seen her in anything else.
Yeah, she's solid. But yeah, that's it, man. Peace out.
Bye.